Hello everyone, this is Oblivion and welcome back to Liminal Industries. So in the last episode we started hooking up all of our resources to the Create Frog network. As you can see over here we have our iron, zinc and copper, and also I figured out why the sign wasn't working. Signs are for outbound and frogs are for inbound. So you have to name the frog itself to be the receiver of an address. So if I click in here, grab a stack, send on here, the frog will put it on the chain and then pick it up and then dump it in here. So I managed to fix that. You'll also notice that I picked up the mixer setup because if I look up lead, you can see that lead is actually a product of redstone acid on wallpaper. So in order to get our lead setup and also our redstone setup, we want to move our mixer and all the rest over here. So what I figured we could do is that we have our output here, and what we can do is if I grab a chute and a golden sheet, I think I can do this. This is powered for some reason. Why is that powered? I want to do 30 at a time because 15 aside, we want to only dump like once for every 30 items. Additionally, what we want to do is that we want to dump this on a depot. Depot, double click to highlight, put that there. Very nice. So we have 30 on this. And then what we want to do is we want a fan and some lava. So if I grab a casing and fan, we should be able to do this. Very nice. And then we can put this here and this here. And then what we want to do is, so it's a pump, it doesn't really matter the direction. B for backpack, put a gearbox in here. And then we can do shafts over to here. And then gearbox again, like so. And like so. Is it blowing? No, it's not. I mean, technically I could put the lava here. Let's do that. So if I want, I can put this like so. Nope. There we go. We will want a bit of stairage here so we can get to the top layer again. Okay, so we have flux spores in there. Now we just need a bucket of lava. So if we run it over to our alloy furnace, put that in there. How's this going? I should probably automate this. I have been meaning to upgrade the type of furnace as well. That does remind me, we can make steel armor, in fact. That's probably enough steel. Put that in there. Where's my coke? There it is. And then grab the slag, put that in this backpack, grab our lava bucket, and then we're back over to the redstone. Alright, the other thing that we want to do is grab another chute, put that here, and then make this filter for redstone, like so. There we go. Not that. 30, very nice, and then I'll put the lava here. Should start cooking. Is it cooking? Maybe I should set this to 1. Then grab this. What is going on? Why can't I grab this? 1. There we go. So if this is working, it should be pretty quick. I have a feeling it's not working. So what we want to do is we want to put a gearbox here. Hit that twice. And then we want to put stuff around here. And then that there. And then this should start cooking. There it is. So it's working now. Now I can set this back to 30. Very nice. And then we probably want a item vault here. Like so. And we also probably want a frog situation. So if I go over to here and I grab my chain conveyors, and then I grab some walls just to make it look pretty. Like so. And then we need some more chain over like so, and then over to here. I have a feeling that the frog won't reach. So if I do this, and then I have... Do I have a packager? I do. And I need a stock link. So upwards, target there, too far. Yep. So what can I do? I wonder if I put a block here, that's still too far away. Would it look silly if I lowered this by 1? I don't think it'd be too bad. Why didn't it give me the chain back? Maybe you should click on the chain first. Still too far away there. Is it too far away here? It is too far away. Interesting. Okay, so chain first, and then conveyor, and then like this, up to here. I think my target was wrong. There we go. Now I could probably put this here. There we go. Nice. Don't want to break that block because that has lava in it. And then we should have redstone. Very nice. So we now have redstone on the network. Next up should be going downstairs to set up the lead. So what I could do is go here. And as I've prepared earlier, we have a platform here. We have the same idea with the 3-level basement, and then we can put our wallpaper harvester on the wall right here. So to do so, I believe we want the mechanical bearing here. If I press B, bearing, there we go. Turntable, that's right. So we want a turntable, and then we want ash alloy casing. We do have that. This and this. Very nice. Oops. And then we want... Is that too close? Maybe not. 2, 3, and 4. Very nice. And then we want to have a couple of deployers right here. Very nice. We might as well rotate these, not like that. We want to rotate like this. And then we want to put a putty knife in their hand. So 1, 2. That finishes a quest. So now we have putty knives. And then we should also add a barrel. Where's the barrel? Barrel. And we also want to have a block here, and then a barrel. And then we want a chute, which is this. And then we want a interface. We want a pair of them. So we want this and this. I think I might have to move all of this up by 1. Because if I do this, yeah. Okay. So if we move this guy up by 1, like so. There we go. And then we want to do only when destroyed. And then we do this, and then we put this guy there. And then grab this guy and move him up. Like so. And then the putty knife. There we go. And then what we can do is we can have a chute right here. And then we can have our interfaces here. Oops. And one right here. Cool. Okay. So I think that'll work. Now if I grab my super glue, and then I super glue that to there, and then this guy to there, then we should have a wallpaper harvester. Now all we need to do is grab some power. So if I get the chain drive, okay, so B for backpack, chain drive, 2, so we have plenty of those. We need some more chain itself. So we do this, and then we do this, and then we could probably do this, just to turn them back into ingots. Wait, I think I dumped my chain conveyors. There we go. And then what we want to do is we want to go upstairs, and we probably want to, so where does this line up? This is 4 blocks away. Okay, so I think I need to like bridge out somewhere. So if I go for 4th block away, I think so. We can have a bit of a staircase right here. Okay, I think this will work. I should have grabbed the connection. So we swim up here. And also, I should probably put the water on the top level, just to make it more convenient. There we go. Then we grab this, and then we go down here, come up the stairs. Very nice. And then we grab a connection from here, and then we might as well go directly into this guy. And then we do, what is it, vertical gearbox? This guy? That runs very quickly. We might want to ratio it down. I mean, It might be alright. It just looks a little funny. So that works there, and then actually I was meant to grab the chain from that. And then we can do, I guess, like down to here. Like that. So now we have our wallpaper. Very nice. So next on the agenda is, what do we do with wallpaper? So I'm pretty sure wallpaper has multiple uses. Obviously we saw the lead before. We can also use it to make paper and yellow dye. Do we want mass quantities of dye? I don't know, probably not. Okay, so we have a mixing recipe for ash, and we also have this recipe for lead. So we might as well do 2 funnels. Funnel. Very nice. We can do one of each of these, and then we can do shaft into basin, and one of them is just going to be the redstone acid, right? So, question is, which way do we want to be which? I think I can do ash alloy this way, and then I'll do the redstone stuff here. So, what we want to do is, where's my belts? Here we go. And then we want a spout. Here we go. So copper casing, which we can do with this and some wood. And we want a piece of glue, rubber. I could run upstairs. Actually, no, I don't need to run upstairs. I have glue. There we go. And now we can do this guy right here. And then we should probably set up the mixer again. So how do we do that? Let's grab out our engineering book. Where is it? So we probably want to put some of this away, just for inventory space. And then we want to grab this, 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 that. We want this. We probably want that. We want these. Okay. Now, where's my book? Here it is. And then if we go to heavy machinery and we go back to the mixer, we can pause and do layer by layer. So the input output port is on this side, I believe. Is that right? No, fluid comes out here, right? And then the input for water is here, I think. So if we set it up basically how we had before, I didn't get all of the items I needed. Where's my backpack? Scaffolding, there we go. Let's do here. Is that right? No, this one's an engineering block. Very nice. And then we need some pipes. Where's my backpack? There it is. Where's the pipes? There it is. Okay, next layer is some more engineering blocks. And then this guy. And then sheet blocks. Very nice. And then the top is engineering block and fence post. Engineering block and 1 fence post, and then we can put the rest of this away. Fence post, engineering block. Where's my hammer? Here it is. What am I missing? I placed these the wrong way. There and there. There we go. And then we want to put the smart fluid pipe right here again. And then we want to do a filter. I mean, maybe we wanted it on this side. I'm going to cut away and cut back when I rotate it. Okay, it's rotated now. We put this guy here, we put the filter in, like so. Then we put the pump, going the wrong way. And then we have a pump here for water, which goes that way. And we have the infinite water source, which I apparently don't have any water on me. Where is the closest infinite water source? I think it's over here. One, two. Very nice. I don't know if this wallpaper thing is making me much. There we go. And then we want to connect it up to power. We also want to do this. Very nice. And we could also do the crystallizer right here. We want to do input on the back. Very nice. And then this will be a barrel, probably. It could be an item vault, but I don't know how much lead we actually need. There we go. Now, how do we get power? We have a power input here. We want to do vertical gearbox. Where is it? Here. And then we want to do shaft, belt, and then probably some gears and gearboxes. Let me think. Gear, shaft, belt, shaft, vertical gearbox. Is that right? No. I think I need a regular gearbox. Yep. Regular gearbox here. Cog. Done. So we both have water in and then redstone stuff out. Why is this fluid input not working? There we go. Just needed a block update. So we should have redstone stuff in here and then in there. Now what we want to do is, this is probably one of the first times that we use a factory gauge. So factory gauge here, and then we want a packager, which I believe is just cardboard. Like that. Can we just put it on the machine itself? Where's the item inputs? Is it this? I think it's this, yeah. So, if I set this to request 16 from the chain network, so if I put a thing, I don't know, here, and then I grab the chain guy, and then I grab some chain, like so, over here. Then I grab a frog. That is not what I was meant to do. If I grab a frog and put him there, and then redstone acid is the destination, and then we put a factory gauge. Ah, interesting. So stock link, tune to this network, okay. And then what we want is, actually, they do stack, okay. I don't know if the tune was correct. Okay, now these are tuned. Okay. Now, redstone acid is the destination. I put an item into monitor, and then I want 16 in the connected inventory. Inactive, missing a target address. Ah, okay, redstone acid, very nice. So it should request redstone acid from upstairs, so it's got a little green tick. Now is it going to send a package? Is it requesting? No open promises. Promises expire after 30 seconds. Hello? Are you going to request? This is connected. Yep. Send and receive, sure. Catch packages addressed to. Ah, this is what's wrong. So there's no stock link. Where's the rest of my stock links? The ones that are tuned. That's not what I wanted to do. I do this. And I tune it to this guy. And I do that. Now we have redstone in the network. It puts the package on the line. And then comes down here. And then this is unloaded into here. And the request is satisfied. Awesome. So now we can basically automate different machines requesting different items. So if I put, where do I want to put the power? Let's put a alternator, I guess here. And then we can do this guy, grab 2 of these, grab a relay. We didn't need 2 relays. So we have this as the input, and then we do, where's the thing? It's right there. That is the output, and then we want to do this guy. Maybe we want to do here. Cable to there. To there. Okay. So now we want to do something different. Oops. I'm making a mess. Let's do this, this. And then let's make sure that it's not obstructed. What's the easiest way? I guess I could do not that. This, connect over the top with a gearbox. Do I have a gearbox? B for backpack. Gear. There we go. And then I could do where do I want this power line? Let's do vertical gearbox. Gearbox. Vertical gearbox. Right here. Like so. Then we do this guy. Then we do relay here. Nope. Here. Then we connect this from here to here, here to here, and then where's my last LV? LV here, there to there. Awesome. So all these should have power. Very nice. We have redstone acid here. We also have redstone acid here. All we need to do is get some power to this belt, which should be pretty easy. Now, question is, which direction are we rolling? That is the correct direction. Shaft. Pulp. Redstone acid. That's interesting. Lead dust. Random salvage. I guess the salvage is pulp. Do we want to keep pulp? I guess we could. I don't really want to keep it though. So let's do a funnel. One of these guys. Actually, no, we don't have any electron tubes. I don't know. Maybe we can worry about it next episode. Anyways, we have lead dust. We can go claim the renewable lead quest. Oh, also, we can claim the create industry thinking with packages. And where is it? Here we go. Alright. I think that will be the end of the episode. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.